Brian, you felt like going into this week, you hope to see a leap between your first-time starters, in their performance going into week 2. What have you seen relative to that?
Well, it's a process for us. We have not reached that point where we really understand the entire offense, defense, and special teams yet. So this is we're work in progress. I'd like to tell you that, hey, we've been here for 3 years, and our kids should know everything about how we go to work every day. But this is going to be work in progress each and every week as we go out through the entire year.
How much of the offensive menu are you guys sort of eating from at this point? Is it 20%, 10% of what you can do, basically?
I get asked that question a lot. I think what we have is a lot in, but we're not at a point where we're going to order some of the items that I like to order. So that's kind of where we're at right now, and it'll take some time, and we'll continue to progress and try to be as aggressive with it as possible. But I'm not going to do it just at the expense of, hey, Coach Kelly runs this spread no huddle, and he's got to do this. I want to win games, so we're going to find ways to win games.
You updated us about time of possession yesterday. Is it a little bit more important in a game like this because Robinson is either running or passing 70% of the snaps?
I think that's one perspective. My other perspective would be get up on them, score a lot of points. There's some option principles there as well in terms of, option teams don't like to fall behind. If they do and they get off schedule, they have to do some things they don't want to do. So, I always look at it from both of those perspectives. One is, controlling the football, but the other is put a lot of points on the board, and it changes the way they manage the game too.
How do you rattle a quarterback making his first road start? Do you concern yourself with that?
Not in the offense that they run. Their offense obviously is set to run the football, and he's got now he'll throw the ball, and he's very accurate. Most of his throws were containable throws. They're within 5 or 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, but he certainly can throw the football. If you're falling asleep on him, he can put the ball over your head. The point I'm making is he's a running back, and the only way I know to take a running back out of play is to hit him and make sure you tackle him. That's going to be the issue. If you really want to know, cut it right down to its real roots. You got to tackle this kid.
Floyd was not uninvolved on Saturday, but are there ways you can get him more involved? Because I'm assuming teams like Purdue and Forever are going to pay a ton of attention to him.
Sure. I think one way is to keep the ball in bounds when we throw it to him. Don't put it up in the band section. I think the band members would appreciate that as well, seeing we did some damage up in the band section. Yeah, I think the offense, is always going to be, how do you get the ball to Michael Floyd? But like you said, I think you're also going to have to look at teams are going to double, and Theo Riddick's got to step up, guys like that. That's kind of how I look at it more than anything else. And the game will kind of dictate that. If I see they're doubling Mike, we're not going to go over there. We're going to do something else.